around 9 countries having nuclear power around the world, one of them made something so extraordinarily powerful that it could wipe out cities. Known as the monster of destruction, this thing is so popular that even the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki pale in comparison. So, let's uncover what this bomb was when it was detonated. Do we need to worry about it? And before we start, subscribe to our channel for future videos like these. In the world of human invention, few devices occupy such a chilling space as the Tsar Bomba, the most powerful nuclear weapon ever detonated. Its story, which starts from the Cold War, is a chilling warning that we humans can do whatever we put our mind to, even if that is the destruction of our own world. But the history behind this is darker, telling us that politics and nuclear bombs are highly linked. So what exactly was the history behind this bomb, and why was it ever even created? Let's find out. The Tsar Bomba, nicknamed King of Bombs in the West, was the most powerful nuclear weapon ever detonated. Its story is intertwined with the Cold War. In the 1960s, the Cold War raged between the United States and the Soviet Union. Both superpowers engaged in a frenzied arms race, stockpiling ever more destructive nuclear weapons as a deterrent against the other. The Tsar Bomba was the apex of this competition, a colossal symbol of Soviet nuclear might designed to intimidate the West. With a theoretical yield of 100 megatons of TNT, the Tsar Bomba was over 50 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Its detonation unleashed a fireball hotter than the surface of the sun, generating a mushroom cloud over 60 kilometers high. The blast created a shockwave that circled the Earth 3 times, shattering windows hundreds of kilometers away. Unlike most nuclear weapons, the Tsar Bomba was never intended for actual use. Instead, it was a public demonstration of Soviet nuclear prowess, timed to coincide with a major political event. You see, the Soviet Union really wanted to show how dominant it was in terms of the technology and the power it held back in the 20th century. But how powerful was this Tsar Bomba? Let's find out. Imagine a bomb with a theoretical yield of 100 megatons of TNT. That's equivalent to 50 Hiroshima bombs exploding simultaneously, or an explosion with the energy of 3,800 Hiroshima bombs combined. The Tsar Bomba, thankfully, was only detonated at 50 megatons, but even this reduced yield produced a blast wave that circled the Earth 3 times. The detonation generated a fireball hotter than the sun's surface, vaporizing everything within a few kilometers. The mushroom cloud, a chilling testament to its power, rose over 60 kilometers high, visible for hundreds of kilometers. The shockwave shattered windows hundreds of kilometers away, and seismic waves were detectable globally for hours. To truly grasp the Tsar Bomba's power, consider some comparisons. The combined blast yield of the bombs dropped on the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki was just 0.32 megatons, a mere fraction of the Tsar Bomba's 50 megaton detonation. The 1883 eruption of Krakatoa, one of the most powerful volcanic events in recorded history, released an estimated energy of 200 megatons. While still twice as powerful as the Tsar Bomba, the volcano's energy was spread over time, unlike the bomb's concentrated blast. The blast radius of the Tsar Bomba's full 100 megaton yield would have been over 8 kilometers, completely obliterating most major cities. While the Tsar Bomba's power was immense, it was never intended for actual use. Instead, it served as a potent symbol of Soviet nuclear might aimed at deterring the West during the Cold War. Its sheer destructiveness, however, backfired, ultimately strengthening global resolve for nuclear disarmament and non-proliferation. But you will be shocked at how a huge sum of money, research, and time was spent to make this project. The Tsar Bomba, a colossal thermonuclear weapon with a theoretical yield of 100 megatons of TNT, stands as a chilling monument to the Cold War and a stark reminder of humanity's capacity for destruction. But what was the purpose of this monstrous device, never intended for actual use? Its goals, woven into the complex tapestry of geopolitical tensions, reveal a story beyond mere military might. The 1950s and 1960s witnessed a frenzied nuclear arms race between the US and the Soviet Union. Both superpowers stockpiled increasingly powerful bombs as a deterrent against the other. The Tsar Bomba, conceived in this climate of suspicion and rivalry, was intended to showcase Soviet technological prowess and intimidate the West. The bomb's detonation strategically coincided with major political events within the Soviet Union. It served as a status symbol of communist strength and resolve, aimed at bolstering domestic morale and solidifying the authority of the Soviet leadership. Beyond its symbolic value, the Tsar Bomba presented a valuable opportunity to test the boundaries of nuclear technology. Engineers pushed the limits of materials and physics, gathering crucial data on thermonuclear explosions and bomb design. While this advancement served scientific progress, it also contributed to the further development of ever more destructive weapons. However, despite its intended purpose, the Tsar Bomba's sheer destructiveness backfired. It triggered global alarm and strengthened international resolve for nuclear disarmament. The Cold War adversaries realized the futility of pursuing such devastating weapons, ultimately leading to treaties like the Partial Nuclear Test Ban Treaty of 1963. The Tsar Bomba's purpose transcended mere military intimidation. It was a potent symbol of Soviet ideology, a forceful declaration of the country's technological prowess, an unwavering commitment to communist doctrine. It aimed to demoralize the West and demonstrate the futility of any potential nuclear confrontation. However, its sheer destructiveness proved counterproductive, instead strengthening global resolve for nuclear disarmament and non-proliferation. The testing of the Tsar Bomba also presented significant scientific challenges. Engineers had to develop new materials and technologies to withstand the immense heat and pressure generated by the detonation. Despite the risks, the tests provided valuable data on the physics of thermonuclear explosions, ultimately contributing to the advancement of nuclear weapons technology. However, this advancement came at a horrifying cost, raising ethical concerns about the pursuit of ever more devastating weaponry. But how did the world react to this bomb and the testing? News of the blast rippled across the globe with chilling swiftness. Headlines blared of a monster bomb, and the mushroom cloud's terrifying visage, captured in grainy newsreel footage, became a symbol of potential destruction. In the West, the reaction was one of stark fear and condemnation. Politicians across the spectrum denounced the detonation as a reckless act of barbarity, fearing it escalated the Cold War to a new and perilous level. President John F. Kennedy called it the most powerful weapon ever constructed, a stark reminder of the nuclear precipice humankind stood on. Within the Soviet Union, the mood was a mix of national pride and nervous fascination. Propagandists hailed the Tsar Bomba as a triumph of Soviet science and technology, portraying it as a deterrent against Western aggression. However, whispers of unease and concern regarding the bomb's destructive potential also circulated among ordinary citizens. The blast's reverberations extended far beyond the superpowers. In neutral nations and recently decolonized states, the Tsar Bomba amplified anxieties about nuclear proliferation and the potential for a catastrophic global conflict. Anti-nuclear protests gained momentum, fueled by a visceral fear of a future obliterated by atomic fire. In Japan, still bearing the scars of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the news of the Tsar Bomba rekindled the trauma of nuclear devastation. Public outrage and demands for nuclear disarmament intensified, culminating in the iconic Hibakusha, or survivors movement. Across the developing world, the potential fallout from the nuclear arms race became a pressing concern. Leaders worried that their nascent nations would become pawns in the superpowers' deadly game, vulnerable to the whims of nuclear giants. Calls for global nuclear disarmament and non-proliferation treaties began to gather momentum. While the Tsar Bomba's immediate impact was one of fear and anxiety, its long-term legacy might be more nuanced. Some argue that its sheer destructiveness served as a wake-up call, pushing both superpowers toward the negotiating table and eventually contributing to the signing of the Partial Nuclear Test Ban Treaty in 1963. However, others contend that the arms race continued unabated, and the Tsar Bomba simply marked a tragic escalation in a dangerous competition. The debate continues, with the bomb's true legacy remaining a complex and multifaceted question. In conclusion, the Tsar Bomba's goal transcended simple military might. It was a complex mix of political signaling, scientific exploration, and ultimately a catalyst for international cooperation in curbing the nuclear arms race. While its legacy remains controversial, its story serves as a critical reminder of the dangers of nuclear proliferation and the importance of striving for a safer world. What do you think about the Tsar Bomb? How much would a project like this have cost? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below and subscribe to our channel for more videos like these.